What up, pink ladies, T-birds, just happen to be watchers of my shit. My name is JImmiPynk. And damn, I know I said this last time, but Andrew Cunanan is a damn fool. Okay, so thank you so much for joining me. This is American Crime Story Season 2, The Assassination of Gianni Versace, Episode 3. And oddly enough, we didn't really get any of the Versaces this episode. However, we didn't get the Versaces, but we got them in spirit. So let's get into this gig. So, we start off with Judith Light, who I love. I grew up with Angela Bauer from Who's the Boss, but great comedic term, but she's so much more than that. She's a fantastic actress, and I believe Ryan Murphy has worked with her before. But she did a fantastic job as Marilyn Maglin, who oddly enough, she used to sell this perfume on like the Home Shopping Network, QVC, or one of those. And I remember this because she was selling the perfume with pheromones in it. And I used to wear this little known perfume called Realm that also had pheromones in it. And I absolutely loved it. And I remember my mother, who is still to this day watches all them Home Shopping Network channels, telling me, well, there's a perfume that has that pheromone stuff in it that you might want to try from Home Shopping Network. But I never knew the lady's name, and I never knew all of this. So we see her in the opening, and she's at the Home Shopping Network selling her perfume. And we can already tell she's well put together. She's a woman of means. We can just tell by the way that they are advertising it. And she gives this speech. And it's amazing. So we then see her, a little bit of a flashback a week before, and we see her and her husband. And they seem to be just like the perfect upper crust, waspy family, hobnobbing with all the big people. They're with the governor of Illinois, just talking, and everybody's like, you know, your marriage just can't be that perfect. And of course, we know it's not, because Lee has a secret. He has some skeletons in his closet, and it's his skeleton. So we see her calling. First of all, can we talk about the opening? The opening, the way they set it up was fantastic. She's calling, where are you to pick me up from the airport? She goes in, she sees all this stuff out, and we see how pristine their house is. Everything is stark white, pristine, but there's just this weird stuff going on. Ham in his office, ice cream left out forever, bloody clothes. She walks back outside because she already knows something is wrong immediately. The neighbors come. The neighbor's husband is like, you ladies step outside. He goes to look for her. Nothing is wrong. Of course, they're upper crust. They're of means. So when they call the cops get there immediately, and they don't even know for sure something is wrong yet. This man could have left with another woman for all you know. But you know, rich white people, so the cops is Johnny on the spot for them in Chicago at that. Ain't that about a bitch? Chirac. But the cops are there, Johnny on the spot. Did you check the garage? The woman goes in. The man is like, step outside. Because as soon as the woman says, their Lexus is gone. And then they find the body. This is when we get into that. But the way it does, and they cut back to Judith Light, and she's just sitting there. And I knew it. Fantastic opening. Then we see this man, like she's on her way to go on the business trip because she obviously sells her stuff on HSN, so she has to go out there to shoot. And he just gets like real depressed. And she's like, well, do you want to come with me? And all this stuff. And this whole time in the back of my mind, I'm like, do they kind of just have like, you know, I forgot what it's called. It's a color marriage. I mean, it basically means like, you know, she knows she's a beard. And at first I was thinking that's what it is. And it was just like a deep friendship, and they was together to keep up appearances. And the way they play it is brilliant, because you almost feel that way the entire episode. Almost. You almost feel like that the entire way, like she know he gay. like she know you're getting in a funk again. Well, what are you gonna do while I'm gone? Like, for the longest, I really thought like she knew he was gay because the way she made the speech at the governor's fundraiser, and he's like, I wasn't expecting you to say all of that. And he's like, do you remember what color you painted the store, the first store that we had, my first boutique? And he's like, that's so long ago. And she was like, we painted it pink, which you know is basically code for gay, like pink triangles and everything. So I'm really thinking they're in this relationship for appearances only, and she's a beard. But as it goes along, like he feels so bad. They have like a chapel in their home. He goes down there, he's praying, and he's like, I try so hard, but Andrew Cunanan's pussy is just too goddamn good, and he want a piece of that pussy. So he's like, oh, well, I'll be in Chicago. And he comes to the house and everything. And what is up with Andrew Cunanan and taping people's faces all together? And when these powerful men that like to be dominated like that, and you going for that, fuck you. And, oh, you make it feel so real. I'm not like the other escorts. I'm not like other guys. And that's always what his thing is. Like, I'm better than everybody else. I'm smarter than everybody else. I'm more well-spoken than everybody else. But you also crazier than everybody else. But anyway, there he's talking about the Space Needle he wants to build and all this stuff. Long story short, blah, 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 blah. I'm going to take you down to the basement and we're going to get messy. And he eating a sandwich and everything. Get done with the sandwich. And he goes down there and he tapes him up and ties him up. Yeah, you're worthless. You like that, don't you? And you just letting him do this to you. And next thing you know, I'm thinking he was at least going, because we seen him with the other guy. I didn't think he was going to kill him right there. I thought they were going to like have sex or something. He just punches him in the face. Boom. You helpless. You see how you is? This and this and this and this and this. Concrete can build, but also can kill. Bashes him in the head. We see him stab him. Blood all over. He comes upstairs. Goes into the lavish house. Runs himself a bath. So then we find out, you know, once the woman comes home, please don't start that shit. It's too early for you to be text messaging me. And she is, you know, it was a robbery. It was a robbery. I'm still thinking she know it was gay and somebody was in that house and all this stuff. Building it up the whole time. The son is in Air Force One as a Russian pilot. Just, we are the perfect family. I had a boss that was a lot like that. Like, her son had to miss a game. They canceled his last game for weather, and she was crying because he wasn't going to make 1,000 points in his senior year. He was already student athlete of the week, valedictorian, and she was crying because he wasn't going to get 1,000 points. He wasn't sweating it like, I'm cool. But she was crying. Like, I had a boss that was very much like that, keeping up appearances. And I loved the way that they staged the home with everything so pristine, white, in its place. Like, it was just so perfect, but so fake. Like, it just wasn't natural looking. I love the staging of that. And then, you know, tells them, like, I'll put you in women's panties. I'm going to spread all this gay porn around you. So you going to be ruined in death, and, like, kills him. The gold coin came back up. Remember, we seen Kathy Moriarty telling them, like, I told y'all, when I got this gold coin, something was wrong, and where did he get it from? But we see that come up. But we found out the Lexus can be tracked. The car phone can be tracked because when the ignition starts, some high-tech rich people shit, when the ignition starts, the phone come on. So it's being tinged. And they're like, we don't want to tell nobody. They trace the car. Now they know that murders are connected. Okay, now we know that murders are connected. So now the FBI comes in. They go to tell the wife, you know, your husband has some gay shit all around him. Well, they must have brought it, and I don't want to hear nothing else and this and this and this. But she's always very in control, never mournful, always powerful, always impeccably dressed. Who else that sound like? Because don't that sound just like Donatella? Okay, then. So, you know, she's talking to, I guess, the estate lawyer. I never knew if that was the son or who that was. And then she breaks down and was like, is this what y'all wanted to see? Y'all wanted to see this? This is better. I know everybody thinking, like, our marriage was fake. And then we find out that, like, no, she had no idea her marriage was real and she was very much in love with him. And that's the moment we see that, but we don't see it until behind closed doors. Very similar to Donatella, where she never shed a tear. She was very cold to everybody else, always impeccably dressed until she took him, you know, to get his body dressed and cremated. Very similar. So that was the parallel that we're seeing. And that's how Andrew Cunanan was getting away with this shit, because he was going after powerful men that he knew them people did not want it to get out that he was gay and that they would hold them details. And doesn't Maryland say that? They're not going to win. This was a random act. This wasn't connected to anything else. And then somebody leaks that goddamn Pynk. And Andrew Cunanan has to switch up cars. And then he kills an innocent bystander to get the truck. Ruthless and cold-hearted. Such a shame. This dude just was no remorse. Complete sociopath. But the crazy thing about it is he was just so fucking smart because he knew who to target. He just got too big for his britches. The sad thing about it is between her saying it was a random act and them leaking that he was able to be Pynk caused 2 more people to get killed because that man, he had to switch the truck, and of course Gianni Versace. Like this could have been ended after this man. But we end the show the way we started, with her on Home Shopping Network, and again creating her own narrative, saying, you know, they killed him for a car. This was a random act of violence. And we start where she started, except for now she's tearful. She can go on, and she makes the same speech she made about the beginning, about the red light being the man you love. End scene. I know a lot of people are going to have a little bit of a problem with this episode because there was no Versace. I mean, we seen him go into the Versace store, and we see where he obviously got the idea, this is going to be my next target. But we really didn't get Donatella and Gianni, but we did get Donatella and Gianni. You know, the guy, successful, well liked by everybody. The whole community loved him. Very powerful, blonde woman in his corner that also loved him very much, and basically protected that he was gay at the end and protected his legacy. So we got him in spirit. We're just seeing that he was targeting the same type of men. I thought the episode was phenomenal. The only thing is y'all know I had to be at the gig today, so I had already had a Donatella look picked out, and I was like, I could have dressed like Marilyn, but I already had this gig dressed up, and I've been already up for like 15 hours. But y'all know how I do. I'm always going to bring y'all the episodes, so thank you so much for coming back for this review. Thank you to my patrons. I appreciate y'all very much. New patrons, as well as the patrons that did not get their Christmas gift. I'm going to send something else out in its place. I'm going to send out Valentine's, so everybody will get those. And then the people that did not get their Christmas gift, you will get part of it. You're just not going to get your duckies because it costs too much to ship, and I don't have the money right now. Not begging, just saying I don't have the money to ship that. Like, that shit was like $3 a package to ship, and I have quite a bit of y'all. And I didn't want to use you guys' money because that's not what that's for. That has to come out of my pocket. And right now, after Christmas and being sick and everything, the money's just not there. But I promise you guys are going to get something this month. So to my pink ladies and T-birds, thank you so much for watching and subscribing. Make sure that you are clicking the notification bell. If you are not a subscriber, please become one. Make sure you thumbs up, thumbs down, or comment, because that is how YouTube is tracking right now. So thank you so much. Of course, there is merchandise. It's not as nice as Versace merchandise, but what is? So thank you so much for watching. Ciao, Bella. Deuces.
Kamehameha, attackers blazing, I'm so amazing. Japanimation, the anime on your cartoon station. So fulfilling, no adults swimming for about an hour. Revealing power, unorthodox amongst these cowards. Full transformation for Optimus Prime transformation. A good vibration from Rumble Pack.